Officiating today's services is Rabbi Ellery Mirabel.
Good morning, everyone. When you first came in, there is a guest book for everyone to sign, and then everyone should have picked up one of these as well. We're going to be using them later in the service. Again, I want to welcome each of you that are here, as well as those that are here streaming. Again, I'm Rabbi Cantor Ellery Mirabel, and we're now going to begin the service and celebration of life for Rosalind Dichter. Lombroso. Oh, I wanted to sound, it almost sounded like a wine. I was going to have a little wine. My Sephardic friend, Lombroso, got it. All right. If you haven't done so, please silence your cell phones. Please keep them muted throughout the entire service out of respect, not only for the family, but for the utmost respect to the deceased. So please silence your cell phones. Now, today we speak with love about a woman who has been part of and touched your lives in so many ways as we honor the memory and celebrate the life of Rosalind, your beloved wife, mother, sister, mother-in-law, sister-in-law, grandmother, great-grandmother, aunt, cousin, friend, loved one, and matriarch of this family. Did I miss anybody? I got everyone. Good. Who departed this realm on Wednesday, July 16th, 2025, corresponding to the 20th day of Tammuz, 5785. Roz was 2 months shy of 88 extraordinary years. What a gift she was, a blessing. She was loving, kind, thoughtful, smart, resilient, and devoted. Now, our gathering today is called a levaya. The word levaya in Hebrew literally means escorting. So we must be conscious that what we are really doing today is escorting and facilitating Roz's transition from out of this limited world into a world without limits. In Hebrew, we say olam haba, the world to come, a higher state of being. We are all here to elevate Roz's neshama, her soul, so that it's free to return to heaven from where it came. Lechi lach, and we will make your name great. Lech lecha, and all will praise your name. Lechi lach, on your journey we will bless you. You are a blessing. You are a blessing, Lechi lach. Now we have 3 dimensions of the soul. First is the neshama, which means breath. The second is ruach, which means wind and spirit. And the third is nefesh, which means rested. And Roz's soul is now in a peaceful state of nefesh, of rest. We recall what is sacred and eternal about her life, and may Roz go to her final resting place in peace and preserve our hearts in purity and bring us to an end in peace. Now, today we pay our respects as we honor and we celebrate Roz's life. Born on September 14th, 1937, to Mildred and Sam Lombroso in the Bronx. And she was the younger sister to her brother Leon, who is not able to be with us today, nor his wife Betty, but we think of them. And her formidable years were spent in the Bronx and in Queens, where she grew up. Now, Roz was an extremely learned woman. She graduated from Queens College with her undergrad degree and then with her master's degree. Professionally, she was a high school biology teacher and was also the dean of girls at the high school. She had a passion for learning and sharing what she learned. So Roz or shall we say Dr. Roz, was what her family and friends called her, as she was into science and nutrition and most likely knew more than the doctors. She had a voracious appetite for medical journals, reading articles, magazines about health and nature, and Dr. Roz was the one who would try to fix every medical condition, not only for her family, but for her friends. She was a huge animal lover and a nature lover. She enjoyed reading the National Geographic. And if an animal organization asked for money, Roz was always sending a check to each organization. She also loved being around the beauty of nature. And all of this made Roz so happy. But what made Roz really happy was when she met her Bashert Alvin. And you were married on February 23rd, 1957, in the back of the Roxy Deli, right? The Roxy Deli. Anybody else get married in a deli here? Listening to the song Too Young and also Earth Angel. Remember those songs? 68 loving years they spent together by each other's side. Roz and Alvin began their family legacy first when they had their son Stephen, followed by their daughter Sherry, a loving and devoted family. Their family grew when Stephen married Michelle and Sherry married Eddie, and the core family nucleus and legacy was created. But the pride and joy came with their grandchildren. Rachel, married to Steve, Samantha, married to Brody, Felicia, married to Mitchell, and Maxwell. 4 dedicated and loving grandchildren. And their family tree continued with 4 great grandchildren, Corey, Ryder, Sadie, and Everett. Now that is quite a legacy and family tree that all started with you and with Roz. Look at that, beautiful. And family was everything. Roz's children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren were her life, as nothing meant more to her. She loved taking care of birds, plants, and loved their vacation home in the Poconos that her and Alvin had for 43 years. What wonderful memories you all created in that home. Now, Roz and Alvin enjoyed nature vacations, traveling to the likes of Russia, the Grand Canyon, Utah, and taking many cruises, right? Those were just among some of the places that you traveled to. Roz also enjoyed Broadway musicals, going to museums, playing canasta, and she was a Zionist. She had a love for the state of Israel. So keep Roz alive within you and hold all of your fond memories close to your hearts. Now, Steve shared a memory with me that when he was 3.5 years old, Roz, in the middle of the night, about 2 a.m., got him up, and together they went outside and looked into the sky. And there they were blessed to see the Perseid meteor shower and a fireball meteor. From this young age and to this day, Steve shared Roz's love of nature and earth science. That began a lifelong lesson and a path that Steve was taught by Roz to use logic and science in all aspects of his life. Lessons that Steve has passed on to his children, and in turn, they will share with their children. In Hebrew, we say ledor vador, from generation to generation. Now, another special memory that he shared was for Roz's 60th birthday. Steve, Michelle, and family planted a 10-inch blue spruce seedling in their backyard. Now, again, that was for her 60th birthday. Today, that 10-inch seedling now stands 30 feet tall. And what a wonderful daily reminder of of Roz every time you look in the backyard. And also for this milestone birthday, a star in the Eridanus constellation was named after Roz. It's called the Rosalind 60. And this star will continue to shine brightly for all eternity as everyone can look up into the night sky and see the Rosalind 60. So I want to thank you, Steve, for sharing those beautiful memories with me of your mom. They're beautiful and things that you can look out and see daily, whether it's the star or the spruce in your backyard. So now I would like to invite up her grandchildren. First, I'd like to invite up Felicia to come up. Oh, you want Max first or? No. Oh, Felicia first to come up and share some thoughts and stories of her grandma. Just watch your step. Tissue.
When I think about my grandma Roz, there are so many words I could use to describe her, but I think the phrase one of a kind sums it up pretty well. She loved nature and animals. She was the smartest person I knew. She could teach you anything about any animal or weather pattern. This knowledge came from studying biology in the 50s when women were often discouraged from pursuing careers in STEM. She was teased and called Miss Science, but it never caused her to put down her microscope and stop learning everything she could. She would come into my classroom in elementary school to teach my classmates about marine life, help with science fair projects, and chaperone my field trips to nature centers. In the wake of 9/11, my teacher asked us to write an essay on our heroes. I chose my grandmother because of how supportive and encouraging she always was for me, and was chosen to recite this speech on the school morning news. She could also make you laugh very hard, whether it was through her made-up Yiddish words, forcing our dog to spit out toothpaste after she brushed his teeth, or thinking she single-handedly raised the planes in their flight path coming into JFK Airport. She didn't. She also had a beautiful love for her family and friends. I'm sure each person in this room has received many, many articles lovingly printed out and mailed with a note like, "I thought of you." She was thoughtful like that, always trying to make you feel loved and cared about. She was so proud of her 2 children, 4 grandchildren, and 4 great-grandchildren. Most recently, she got to meet her newborn great-grandson, Everett, and even though she didn't have the ability to speak well, she used her limited strength to rub his back, blow kisses at him, and smile. And who can forget her love story with my grandfather? They had a beautiful 67-year marriage where they went on many adventures together and kept a close collection of friends spanning decades. Everyone will have a different way that they imagine what my grandma's doing in heaven. But for me, I like to think of her admiring the nature in the Pocono woods, noshing on a dark chocolate-dipped almond horn, and hugging and kissing her parents, her dog Peppy, and various pet birds. I'd like to believe there is nothing more she would have liked. Thank you.
And now her grandson, Max.
Thank you again for coming, everyone. All of us have a different version of Roz that we think about, whether she was a family member, a friend, or just somebody in passing. But to me, when I think of my grandmother Roz, the thing that I truly think about is how she never gave up on me and took a chance on all of my hobbies, all of my interests, and just always wanted to hear what I was up to. And that's whether from teaching me how to drive and just letting me drive them around to lunch or to dinner whenever I was still with my learner's permit. When I was in college and I said I wanted to go horseback riding, who wants to do that, but she always wanted to see pictures. She provided financially for me to be able to do that, and she was always loving and wanting to be there for my hobbies and my interests. But the story that I really think about that really touches my heart is that I was about 12 or 13, and I was obsessed with computers for one of my first interests. I wanted to get into IT. I wanted to learn how computers and technology work, and I was always looking at YouTube videos about building your own computer, but I didn't have the money to do so. My parents didn't really want me to do it because they thought I'd break something, but Roz, who needed a new computer, said, let the kid have a shot. Let's do it. Just, go order the parts and have fun. And when I received the parts, I almost broke it. It took me many, many hours to figure out, but I did put it together and had a computer that is actually still working to this day. And because of that little investment and that little take a chance on me, I think about those memories every day, and it put me in the place that I currently am today. So thank you all for coming. I really appreciate it. And thank you to Grandma. Oh, and one more thing too. Thank you. She always was infatuated with this aloe plant I got many, many years ago. It's probably 70 or 80 pounds in my backyard right now. And once per year, it grows this 4 or 5 foot tall giant orange flower. And it's just so happened that at this time of year, it is in full bloom. So I chopped it off, and it's currently in with her right now. So it's something nice that happened around this time of year. So thank you again.
There's really nothing I can say that these two haven't shared about my mom, because they did it so beautifully and so wonderfully. But thank you all for coming. My mom was loved by so many people. I have been overwhelmed by the outpouring of messages, stories, and memories that people have shared with me. Each one a beautiful reminder of how she touched their lives and made a lasting difference. Last week, as I was driving to pick up my dad and head to hospice, I turned on the Billy Joel channel on the radio in an attempt to distract myself. A song came on, "Good Night, My Angel." And Billy Joel did an explanation of the song before the song played, of why he wrote it. He shared that his then 8-year-old daughter, Alexa Ray, once asked him, "What happens when you die?" Billy is not a religious man. He is Jewish, by the way. He answered her simply and profoundly, "When you die, we go into the hearts of people who love us." That thought has stayed with me ever since I heard it. Mommy, I hope you're able to break into 1,000,000 pieces, because that's how many hearts you now live in. You will forever be a part of so many of us. I will love and miss you every single day, and I will feel your love always. Do you want to say something? You don't have to. Yeah, okay.
I first called Rosie her first day on her 17th birthday. She was my first girlfriend. And my last. I've known her for 69 years. We had a very wonderful life together. She was my best friend and my life's partner.
That's enough if you want.
I guess that's all I'll say. Thank you. Okay.
All right. Thank you all. So hold tight the fond memories, along with the shared moments of laughter, joy, and happiness, and carry your relationship in your heart and in your mind. Because as long as you remember her, Roz will live on within you. But now it's Roz's time to rest. Her creations are complete on this earth. She's now going to be following closely in times of need, in times of comfort, and in times of joy. She will be there from above to illuminate her shadow upon us. Now, the El Malay is a prayer that's sung at every funeral, every Yisker, and every unveiling. It asks God to grant perfect peace to Roz, who went on to her eternal home, and to remember the many righteous deeds that she performed. We say, may her soul be wrapped up in the bonds of life, Bitzror HaChaim, and may she be embraced by eternity and be completely at peace. Now, if you're able to, I'm going to invite everyone to please rise. If you're not, please remain seated. El Malay Rachamim, Shochen Bamromim, Hamitzeh Nechuncha Nechona, Tachat Kanfa HaShekhinah. Im Kiroshim Orohim Kizohar Harakia Mastirim El Nishmat Rachil Bat Shmuel Shechalcha Le'olala Baal harachamim yastirehu beseter kenafav leolamim bitzrur bitzrur hachayim et nishmata Adonai hu Nachalata V'yanduach b'shalom Hamishkava V'nomar Amen. May Roz go to her final resting place in peace. Preserve our hearts in purity and bring us to an end in peace. In Hebrew, we say Adonai Natan v'Adonai Lakach, Yehi Shem Adonai Mevorach, which means God has given, God has taken away, and blessed be the name of God. We say, may her memory be a blessing, and may her neshama, her soul, have an aliyah, and may it rise higher in the shelter of God's presence. Now, when a person dies, if you need to weep, cry for someone walking the street beside you. You can love them most by letting hands touch hands and souls touch souls. You can love them most by sharing your simchas, your goodness, and multiplying your mitzvot, your acts of kindness. You can love them most by letting them live on in your eyes and in your mind. And when you say Kaddish for them, remember what our Torah teaches, that love doesn't die, people do. And when all that's left of them is love, give their love away. So we're going to continue now to stand in unity as we say Kaddish for Roz, as this is the first time these words are going to be uttered from your mouths in her blessed memory. The Kaddish is on the back page of the pamphlet that you received when you first came in. The Hebrew is at the top, transliteration is at the bottom. If you have a magnifying glass, you can, or long arms. There you go. All right. And together we say, Yit Kadal, V'Yit Kadash, Shemei Rabbah, B'Alma Divra Chirute, V'Amlech Malchute, B'Chayechon, Uvyomechon, Uchayedecho Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala, Uvizman Kari, V'Imru, Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah Mivorach Leolam Olmei Olmaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yithalel v'yithalal shemei kudasha b'rirchu le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechemata da'amiran v'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. And you may be seated. May the one who creates harmony above make peace for us, for all of Israel, and for all who dwell on earth. And together we say, Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, ve'imru, amen. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Donations to elevate Roz's soul, her neshama, may be made to any animal organization, as she loved to help any and all animals, or to plant trees through the Jewish National Fund, JNF, as we share that Roz was a huge Zionist. All donations in her name and memory will all help to elevate and raise her soul. If you need more information, it's on the inside front cover of the pamphlet as well. Now, following today's service, Shiva will be observed at Sherry's home until 9 p.m. tonight, and will continue tomorrow from 10 a.m. until 9 p.m. Again, the address is on the inside front cover. All here are invited to attend. And lastly, although it may be a little early, but I urge you all to make a l'chaim, to life, with Roz's favorite beverage, which, this is good because it was early morning, was hot tea with lemon. But if that's not your fancy, she also loved a Coke float, which is Coke and chocolate ice cream. So to keep her memory alive, raise a glass either of the hot tea with lemon or the Coke float and say l'chaim, to Roz, to life. And every time you do, think of her. Now, as I prepare to conclude the chapel portion of the service today, remember that Roz walks with you in your hearts and in your minds, in your stories, and in the love that you continue to share. Today's service marks a sacred bond that endures beyond time. We say Zichrono Livracha. May Roz's memory be for an enduring blessing. May her soul be bound up in the bond of life. And today, may we not leave this place in heaviness, but in gratitude. Gratitude for the time that you were blessed with and shared with Roz. Gratitude for the love that never fades. And gratitude for the knowledge that the soul is eternal. At this time, we're now going to conclude just the chapel portion of the service, as together we're going to accompany Roz to her final resting place. We're going to follow all of you. The family will go first, and then everyone will follow suit after. Everyone, please rise. Adonai roi lo esor ino sheyan sevi I'll name I'll name
Huh?